Honestly, typically about 50% of the time or so, we are seeing drivers lie on what their record actually is. Before you hire a driver for your trucking company, you want to make sure of a few things. One is we would always recommend you only are hiring drivers with clean MVRs, meaning they don't have any tickets, any accidents, or suspensions on their record. A good way to go about doing this is actually to require any prospective driver to bring you a recent MVR. MVR is a motor vehicle report. You could simply go online and they could pay for it. It takes a couple minutes. It's typically about $20, $30 or so to do. And they can just provide that to you to show that they already have a clean record. The second thing that we would always recommend is to look them up online. If you are in a lot of the different trucking Facebook groups, people will post about bad experiences with drivers. I would just quickly search that name, see if anything comes up. Probably nothing will come up, but it's just a good way to filter out some of the kind of bad actors in the industry. The next thing is just looking for someone who is honest and has good references. I would always call references of different companies they've drove for in the past, and with honesty is back to that motor vehicle report. It may be helpful first to ask them if they have any tickets, accidents, suspensions, and then tell them you're going to require that report. That's going to be a good way to kind of test their honesty earlier. Honestly, typically about 50% of the time or so, we are seeing drivers lie on what their record actually is. Now, sometimes they just don't know, but sometimes they'll say their claim for if a trucking company owner is going to add on a driver, sometimes that driver is going to say their claim, and then we go to add them on and we quickly say, hey, they have 5, 6 different incidents within the last 3 years. A driver is going to know if they have 3 or 4 accidents and a couple tickets as well within the last 3 years. They're going to know that. Those are just a few different tips. I would always recommend trying to find someone who's possibly not too young or not too old and kind of run it by your insurance broker first so you could see what the price differences are going to be, because sometimes it's going to be pretty expensive to add on a driver and other times it's not going to cost anything to add them on.